been here a while, so y'all gotta excuse me, all right? I
Nice to have you
lose
back.
touch, you know, what's going on. All right, guys, let's go for it.
Sam, what'd you like best about Evan Williams?
Evan, he's smart, he's instinctive, he's a good kid, and he makes tackles, makes plays around the ball, he's always around the ball, and, you know, he's a football player.
Is his skill set fairly different from Javon's? So in other words, you got two different kinds of guys here in this week.
Well, you know, I didn't do Javon, so all I can talk about is Evan, and I can just talk about what I liked about him. And like I said, he's instinctive, he's around the ball, and I think he'll fit into our locker room because he's a good guy. We don't have to worry about him.
Sam, how does he fit with you guys, what Jeff is going to do on defense? He telling us, he said, I'm looking forward to all the pressure we're going to put on people.
Well, that's to me, that's a question for the coach. All I did was like scout the kid, and I said he was a good player, but you know, we haven't seen what the coach is going to do yet. He's saying what he's going to do, so we just have to wait and see. And hopefully, whatever it is, because you know, I'm getting up here in age, I need another Super Bowl.
Hey, Sam, how did they utilize Evan at Oregon? Was it any different than what he was doing at Fresno, or was it just kind of the same?
It's about the same thing at Fresno and Oregon. You know, I think it took him a while to get used to Oregon, but once he got it down, like the second, third game of the year, I felt like he took off and he looked like the player that he was at Fresno.
Sam, I know you haven't extensively scouted all these guys, you have your guys, but what do you think you've done with the guys that you've added so far in the first 4 rounds?
Well, you know, coming from an ex-player, hopefully what we've done is we've taken the next step to get to where we want to get to. You know, and I know every year with the draft, everyone says that, well, you know, with this draft, we this and we that, but hopefully with all the picks that we have and we're going to get, that if I come back here next year, if y'all don't write in the paper to get rid of me, that, you know, y'all say we had a good draft. And you can't really tell if it's a good draft till 2 or 3 years down the road. So hopefully we did everything to get to that next step, because the last 3 or 4 years is hard.
Sam, he mentioned to us that he was ready to come out after at Fresno State, and then went back to Oregon. Obviously, that last year at Oregon, how important was that for him, do you think, in terms of him getting ready to play in the NFL? Did it elevate his status?
Well, I think it did, because, you know, when you think about it, and I shouldn't say this, because I went to Western Colorado, and if y'all know it, you blink your eye, you'll miss that school. But from Fresno to Oregon, you know, people probably think, well, he's playing a better competition, but Fresno plays good football. So to me, he was a good player at Fresno, he was a good player at Oregon. So, I mean, it elevated him, because as you can see, they had a pretty good year, and he was a big part of that.
Sam, you know, if we haven't gotten rid of you by now, we're not going to.
I don't know, man. They don't let me down here anymore. This is the first time in 8 years.
That's too long. That's why I was counting. Must have given us too much information.
Yeah.
So with Oregon having Dan Lanning there now, do you see some similarities between what you guys have gotten out of Georgia players from that defense and what Oregon's running? Is there some value in that, just the way that you've scouted the West for so long? Is it a different place now that's bringing out guys, or no?
No, it's the same place. And, you know, to me, and I know a lot of people are going to look at me and laugh, but I think the West Coast is the best coast. You know, and I'm from New Jersey, but, you know, I think Oregon plays good football. I think they put out good players. If you go back and look at the Miami safety, he's been playing for a while, and he's playing pretty good. You know, so hopefully, like I said, we get a player that could come in here, take us to the next level, and we're all happy. We're all in, where's the Super Bowl at this year?
New Orleans.
Hey, you know, that was the first one I went to. Hopefully I can be there again.
Speaking of the West Coast, I guess not technically the West, but it's the West. You scouted Morgan too, right?
Jordan Love?
No, Jordan Morgan.
Oh, I'm sorry, man, you know.
Too many Jordans.
Yeah, I'm 62 years old. You gotta let me know.
So, what did you see from Jordan Morgan as you looked at him? And
Well,
how
I've
does he
seen,
benefit you guys?
I've seen a good athlete, a guy that can play more than one position. Now, don't ask me what position we gonna have him at, because that's up to the coaches, you know, and as long as I've been doing this, all I do, I just look for good athletes like Ron Wolf told me. Look for someone that I played with or I've seen growing up, you know, and like when I'm in that room, I say a name, some people are like, man, who's he talking about? We never seen him. So that's all I do, you know, and not saying that the guy's gonna be a Hall of Famer. Hopefully he is, but just hope that again, he comes in and wherever the coaches see fit to put him, he become a player for us and help us.
But besides a good athlete, I mean, do you see like great footwork from a kid that big?
Yes, great footwork, good balance. I know people are saying he's not strong, but you know, I could go get some film showing where he locks up on guys and drive them off the ball, you know, and hopefully when he gets here, he gets stronger, and we'll see, you know.
Brian made it pretty clear with us that he thinks that Jordan can play a lot of positions on that line. But specifically, when you're evaluating someone on whether or not they can play left tackle,
Right.
what are you looking for there? Well, what's that litmus test? Yeah, he can play left tackle.
Well, I'm just looking for if he's an athlete, his length, and again, since I've been here, that's all we do. We look for people that can play more than one position, and if you're an athlete, I think you can do it, you know, and to me, playing football is all about your heart. If you don't have heart, I don't care how big you are, how athletic you are, you can't play. And I think the kid has heart. I think he wants to be good, and that's all you could ask for.
Sam, speaking of being around here a while, they're going to honor you with something pretty special this summer. What does that mean to you and everything you've done here for this organization?
Well, I'll tell you guys this. I was kind of surprised, okay? And the guys in the room have a bet. How long is it going to take me to cry when I get up there, all right? But like being here, and I know I told this story before. I remember when I was on the Raiders, and Al used to be out on the field. If any of you guys ever seen Al Davis, he used to stand by the goalpost, and as you run by here, you know, and if you mess up, be like, I'll send you to Green Bay, you keep on doing that. So from being here for this long, this is one of the greatest places, and I mean, I haven't been to other places, so I can't really comment on other places, but I won't give this up for anything. And being honored for Bob Harlan Award, I mean, to me, it's great. I don't know what I've done to receive that award, but I thank him, you know. And when I talked to Brian, I was like, Brian, why did you do this? And when he told me that football had nothing to do with it, it made me feel better knowing that the other people see what I do, and it's not football people trying to push me.
So, okay, it's not football that did it, but you scouted Aaron Rodgers, you scouted Clay Matthews, you scouted Devontae Adams. It's a pretty decent list there.
You know what? I'll take all of that, but there's a lot of people I scouted that didn't make it. You know, and like, I appreciate that, because those guys came in and they played well, and, you know, like you forgot one, James Jones, you know, that was one of my favorite, you know. But this is the thing about this, this is why I like this job. As you scout these guys and you get to talk to them, there's some people that you'll never forget in life. And some of those names you just name, I mean, you know, we're not friends, but every time they see me, they say hello to me. And that makes me happy, you know, knowing that, like, a story I'll tell you guys, every time I see Aaron Rodgers, he's like, hey, this the guy that got me to the Packers. And I try to tell him, I didn't get you to the Packers. He got himself to the Packers. His talent is what got him here. I had nothing to do with it. I just seen it. I wrote a report, and Terry's like, okay, if you like him, we like him. And that's history, you know?
The other name I was gonna mention was Jordan Love. You did do the groundwork on him. I'm curious what it's been like to see him develop, because you were at some of those practices in 2020 and 2021, and it was tough at first for him. What's it been like to watch him become what he's become now?
I'll tell you this, I wasn't at all the practices, but I watched some film, and I heard people talking about him. But like I tell people, you just gotta give people a chance in this business. And I know in this business, is, hey, what can you do for me right now? But as you can see, and hopefully, I talked to Jordan the other day, hopefully he just keeps on growing. You know, that's the only thing he can do. You know, last year was last year, now we have this year. He just has to keep on playing and doing what he can do, and we'll be all happy. Y'all won't be up here talking about cut my head off.
One more, please. That's good.
Oh, sorry. Lloyd only had the 1 year at USC, but did you have a chance to take a look at him much, and just what do you think of him just in terms of his upside?
You know what? He had 1 year, but he's a good running back. He's tough. You know, he can catch the ball out of the backfield. You know, and I think he could come up here, and then if he does what he did at USC, you know, we have another running back.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Hey, man, y'all